Hey, you. This is my toast, my cheers to you for being bold, brave, and beautiful and stepping into the world of Houdini with me on this course. And I'm thirsty. With that out of the way, I want to give a little precursor to this course by talking just a bit about what this course aims to be, right? Houdini is a massive sandbox of unlimited potential, which is very daunting, right? Even for me at this stage, it's incredibly daunting. So what I want this course to be is a view of Houdini from the artist's perspective, right? Houdini is a very technical software. If you are a mathematician or some kind of whiz kid, there are certainly avenues for you to absolutely thrive inside of Houdini. But there are also avenues for those of us who are not talented in those ways. And I'm hoping to teach you Houdini from that perspective in particular. This course is going to be comprised of what I'm deeming a first day of school tour of the software. If you can think of Houdini as a tree, for example, we've got our base root of what the software is, but it branches off, right, into different categories. You've got particles, you've got smoke and pyro, you've got vellum, which is soft body, stuff like hair, sand particles, jiggly soft body fat stuff, which I love, that kind of stuff. Crowds, you've got, character animation, all these different things. I don't know where you will shine, and maybe you don't either. Maybe you don't know what tickles your pickle, so to speak. But myself, as a generalist, I like to explore every single branch a little bit. But you may find, over the duration of this course, that you fall in love with a particular aspect. Those are the specialists of the world, and the specialists are often the ones who are making the absolute coolest stuff in their particular department. I like the flexibility of the generalist lifestyle. I will never be a master of any particular branch, but I'm okay with that because I like to make fun stuff for YouTube. It's not that big of a deal, right? It's not that serious. But for you, you may find something that you love. So that's why I want to give you guys a tour. Along that tour, we are going to learn a ton about the software, a ton about how the software thinks, and how you can find your own voice in that. That's one of the major things that I want to stress in this course. We are in a sandbox, okay? There are so many ways to do everything that you can think of, right? The way that I approach certain problems may not be the way that you want to approach certain problems. And I want you to know right out the gate that that is totally okay. In fact, it's encouraged, right? You can find your own voice inside of this software. So when I do something, you don't necessarily need to do it verbatim. Maybe as a first rep, it's a good idea, but don't feel the need to stick strictly to what I do because you may find a better way of doing it. And then you can let me know, and that would be cool. Then we're kind of teaching each other. Now, on to a very fun topic. I say that sarcastically, but I genuinely do mean it, right? Learning how to learn, right? Teaching yourself how to retain information as well as possible, because you can basically just cruise through this entire course with great ease. You can just watch every video once and not do any of the assignments or any of the lessons as we go and just kind of try to retain it. All of it will disappear. So there are different methods that I've used throughout the years to retain as much information as possible. I call them the three pillars, so to speak. And those are watching, teaching, and doing. The first step in that three-step process, watching, is self-explanatory. You are watching the videos, right? Whether you need to watch it once, twice, three times, I'm known to watch videos multiple times through until I really understand the core concept of it. Watch the video as much as you need until you feel comfortable with the information. Number two is learn by teaching. And what I mean by this is honestly taking notes, but not taking notes verbatim as how I'm speaking. Taking notes in your own voice. When I take notes, I'm kind of a maniac. So this is me validating you if you're the same way. But I speak to myself out loud and I reteach the core concept in a way that I understand it. And oftentimes you will find when taking notes in this way that you may not understand an idea as well as you think you do, which pushes you back to step one, watching the video again. Once you've taken notes in your own words, I move on to step three. That's the actual doing. That's when I want you guys to follow along with what I'm doing. Like, do it as I'm doing it, and then feel free to branch off and try new things. Now, step two and step three, completely interchangeable. If you want to do it, then teach yourself, having actually experienced it. That's great, but this is the way that I like to do it. Oftentimes when you are actually doing, that is when you realize how little you actually know. Even after you've taught yourself. So I'll go back, I'll change the notes, and then I'll go back and I'll do it again. Another important aspect in self-teaching is to structure your space a little bit, right? There's a lot of distraction. Maybe flip your phone over, right? Mute it. Turn off secondary monitors if you need to, whatever helps you focus or lock in. Just keeping the world out as much as you possibly can, because the reality is when you are entering deep work, and a lot of what we are going to be doing is really considered deep work, it takes a moment for you to ramp back up to being optimal. A way that you can do this without burning out, because I'm the king of the burnout here, at least until I started using the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique, if you haven't heard of it before, is basically a method for staying optimal, staying focused, one task at a time. You basically work for a set period of time, and then you take a break for a set period of time. If you look on YouTube, you look online, you will find a host of Pomodoro videos on YouTube, right? There's 30 minutes on, 5 minutes off, 30 minutes on, 5 minutes off. That's the cycle. I like to do 50 minutes on and 10 minutes off for 4 cycles, and then a 30-minute break. The next thing that I would stress would be to throw motivation away, right? It's a beautiful thing, and if it gets you excited and it gets you up and it gets you active, that's great. Like, use it when it's there. I shouldn't say throw it away. Use it when it's there. But base your entire work in this course off of discipline, right? Base it off of the idea that regardless of how you feel, how excited you are to be here or to be doing the particular thing that we're doing, that you are going to get up and you are going to do it anyway. Just give me 5 minutes of your time and see what happens when you get started, because more often than not, you will find that extra little boost inside yourself to keep going. And you may even get addicted like I did, right? So keep that in the back of your mind, work off of discipline, not off of motivation, and you will go a lot further. And the last thing here is kindness to yourself, right? This is more of a mental health thing, which is important to talk about, especially in self-teaching, because it can very easily become a pit of loathing, right? You can be hyper-comparative, looking at what other people are doing, comparing yourself to them directly. Do not do that, okay? Just right out the gate. That's my biggest advice, I'd say. The only person you should be comparing yourself to is the you from yesterday. If you are better than that person, then congratulations, you've won the day, okay? So keep that in mind. Only compare to your past self, because that is the greatest barometer for progress that you can possibly use. Okay? And we all operate on our own timetable, and we all have our own capacities. I call them superpowers and stuperpowers, right? I'm really good at some things and I'm really bad at other things. I'm not going to compare, because guess what? Typically as human beings, we only compare the negatives, right? So we all got those supers and stupers. We're all dealing with our own stuff. Be kind to yourself. There is one mantra that I've kept in mind from the beginning of my journey into Houdini. And honestly, understanding and absorbing this lesson is one of the biggest things that has kept me going. There is no end to this process. What you are embarking on, right? It's like a video game. The minute that you get to the end of a video game, it gets boring, right? When you get too powerful, you know, when you've beaten everything, you've explored, you've 100%ed it, it gets dull and you want to put it down. So the good news is there is no end to Houdini. The depth, the complexity, it's beautiful and it's vast and it's eternal. You can continue exploring this game until you die. You know, that's my game plan, at least. I don't know. But with that in mind, it becomes, you know, overwhelming. If you are driving yourself based on the idea of, I won't be satisfied until I've done it all, you're never going to be satisfied. And that's no way to live, right? My personal goal as a visual effects artist is to be able to do anything, make anything that comes to my mind. And I am working my way towards that goal, little by little, day after day. But make no mistake, this is the mantra to live by. The journey is the destination, right? Enjoy the moments that you are learning and progressing and changing, the little eureka moments that excite you. Lean into those things, because those things are beautiful and exciting, and you should be proud when you're unlocking these different levels of skill set, okay? The journey is the destination. And if you can keep that mantra close, you will not run out of fuel, because you are already achieving the dream in the moment. And that makes it even more special and more fun. And this is supposed to be fun, right? That's the idea. It won't always be, all right? So don't give up when it's not, but it's supposed to be fun. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more, head to doublejumpacademy.com/Jordan for the full course. Link's in the description. You're just a click away. Click it.